So this is Josh again. This is a tweet that I saw yesterday on the internet. I was looking at Twitter. I should have not been. But Daniel asked, like, is there a good way to display custom field in the block editor? And clarifies, like, you could do this with ACF, which you totally could. Makes sense, but not a great set of answers here. And somewhere in here, I chimed in and was like, hey, I could probably build this plugin real quick. So it's 10:15. I have a call with a client at 11, I think. So let's see how quick we can do this. I left myself some notes here. So we will see. We should also mute that. So here we go. I've logged into Plugin Machine, and we're going to call this plugin MetaBlock. Somebody's used this name. I'm gonna in my slug make sure to use like Josh MetaBlock. You know, let's do this whole thing from scratch. Even though it's gonna make it a little take longer. It's gonna make it take a little longer. I'm in a weird mood, but like I should be able to get this code out pretty quick. What I said here was like, I'm gonna create a plug. Like this needs one block. And so I'm going to add a block, but I'm also going to add this block plugin. It's like adds the like sidebar where you see the icon of the plugin company for like extra settings. So that's what this feature does, and that's not what we need, but like I need some of the code to cut and paste from because I won't remember how to do it otherwise. So save. Yeah, that's all I need. That looks good. Like it'd be cool if I could get this plugin like in a zip and up and working by the end of this, and we'll see. So we'll call this a MetaBlock. No, I should have thought through branding. I don't know. I slept most of the time in between that tweet and yeah. Throw a meta field. Cool. So then we go back. It's going to add one block. I have videos where I like go way more into depth on this on my YouTube channel. If you're new to me rambling about making plugins with Plugin Machine, but this is going to just to be, doesn't matter, test. There. Wait, let's just set this up for a second. Like settings is a good use for these things. So like MetaBlock settings. And so what this does is like set up a custom field, like registers it and gives you a setting for that. But what we're doing is a little bit different. What we need is to like say which meta field I want there, and then we'll just leave it there. So this is going to be a little bit different, but you'll see the difference. So we're going to call this just something random. Okay. Really better. Okay. So that's kind of the thing about WordPress plugin development is that it used to be we could see something in Twitter and be like, I could probably build that in an hour. But now I have to like mess with NPM for an hour. Like remember how to set up a WordPress development environment and like think about blocks and stuff like, so that's annoying. And I started building Plugin Machine, like just because I was annoyed, and hopefully it can solve problems for you too. Because I don't remember all this setup. I just like remember which buttons to click in my machine. So you're going to tell me to use yarn to install. And in another tab here, I'm just start up local development. So I'll have a WordPress there, this URL. My microphone's directly in front of my computer, so like her computer, yeah, and so it sounds like an airplane just took off. I just ran npm install. Okay. so we should have a WordPress here. And I'm just going to go ahead and do this to add a, just to like set up everything instead of clicking. And then like I'm just running this in WP-CLI inside of the Docker container that I just started to run WordPress. So do that. Another user. So let's try and log in again. Admin pass. Great. Do not save. Nice. And I did build the JavaScript for this. No, I didn't. Let's do that. Yarn build. Mute for a cough. Anyway, so let's go back here. That should be built. This is built. Okay, so open up our console here. So we got. Go back. There you go. Okay, so this is like a very basic hierarchy block. And then, so this is the sidebar that got added where I can like, this is going to save as a meta field. So meta block test. All right, cool. So this is not what we want exactly, but it's getting closer. Let's take a look at the code. Let's close out of that. Okay, cool. These are my settings. Like this isn't queuing the JavaScript and like also registered that meta field. We don't need this. But it's kind of neat here. Is that we can get a post edit like this meta field. Like this is like the get post meta of the block editor. Right, we're using the use select hook, and then that this sidebar here, like this is just like what has one text control that's changing the value of that meta field. And so cool. That's not really what we need at all. So why don't we do two things here? Sometimes I use plugin machine just to like generate some stuff and then I throw it out. So let's tell it I only have one block. And when we generate the zip file for this, don't include that. Neat. And that looks good there. And let's delete all this because we're going to do another build without that stuff. And then let's also not include that file. Cool. Oh. Because I just added that sidebar because I didn't feel like Googling how to like get the value of a meta field. Okay, so that only this time because in my plugin machine.json, I got rid of the settings block sidebar. Now it's not building from there, and because I didn't include the PHP file in the main plugin file. Okay, still plenty of time left on the clock. Or I have a client called 11. We're gonna be able to build this plugin in half hour. Probably less if I wasn't rambling full time. Cool. So what we actually want here is that like we're going to choose a meta field, right? And save that, and then we're to get that attribute value as a PHP render callback. So it would be cool to do this, use the server-side rendering React like Gutenberg package component. I'm gonna like that would be like a version 1.1. I'm just gonna kind of make this work as is without that so much, but we'll see. So what's going here? We have in our block.json file, we have one attribute. It's just a high ROI attribute. This is the thing that this is going to be the field name attribute. Type is a string, and it's just going to default this to an empty there. All right. So this is the edit here. And so I'm just going to kind of start over here. I think this is an adjusted start point, but part of why I put things up there for you like that is A, for testing, but also you don't want to use it. You don't want to use it. Here you go. You're back to kind of nothing. This use block prompts. This is going to put all of the right classes and stuff on the outside of the block instead of you having to handle that. WordPress handles it that with this hook. That's in the block editor package. Nice stuff. So what we're going to want to do is inspector controls. I can never remember what package they're in now because like they keep moving them. So WP dot I think it's editor dot inspector controls, right? That's for the side. Okay, and it's not deprecated. That's how I solved these problems. Like I assumed it was an editor, but if I had assumed it was in like components and gone inspector, it's not there. And the reason why I checked that it's autofilling and I hit enter is it might be deprecated. So hitting enter would have told me it's deprecated, go elsewhere. Right, because it used to be somewhere else and now it's deprecated. It moved here. So that's from editor, not block editor. Because what we're going to do is put a text control over there for. Oh, is this deprecated? Oh, use block editor. Okay, fine. There we go. All right. IDEs are nice. So text control, and this time let's call this label. It's going to be field name. And what did I call the attribute? Okay, fix that. Field name. So constant field name equals attributes. Constant set field name equals set attributes. Field name equals value. And so now we can do on change. Set field name should work, and then value equals field name. Oh, okay. Start. That way we get the rebuild for us every time we do a save. Pause for drink. Webpack was much faster than I expected. So that's probably that's fine. Just delete it. Okay. Go on. And the next thing we're going to do here is we're going to try and put this back in. And see, that's kind of the issue is it doesn't have its own UI anymore. It's just got nothing there because it's all over here. All right, let's just test that this works. this would be the field name, and we don't really have anything. So let's call this coffee. I think that's the meta field that we're gonna go look in. And just do this just to make sure that it's saved real quick. Okay. It's saved. I don't think I hit save before last time. Okay, so that's there. But you see how this is sort of like there's nothing here. But that's no good. Also, maybe we actually want to set the field value. Right? Like maybe we want an ability to put it there and also like to choose which field and also to get the value. Right? Like that would be a lot better. And that's why earlier I created that settings panel, like that settings sidebar, and then removed it. Because I knew that I had this here. So let's split this to the right. Now we got everything next to each other. We can both get back here. All right. Let's just start with this real quick. Where does this get imported from? Should be data, right? Yeah, right there. I'm kind of curious about here is right. Can I do something like this? I honestly have no idea. I like to use that kind of turn area instead, and that needs to be here. And then, okay, so this will, as I said, like I think this could be a better kind of UI a bit in the future, but I'm trying to get like a version 1 here that just kind of functions, right? So this has no value. But if we also put here, maybe this might work. Like field value. It would be cool to have like all of the fields that like custom fields that have already been used somehow. Deal with that later. Field value. And so let's use dispatch back and copy this hook from over here. Okay. Cool. Let's try this. This might be a big problem, but what we're trying to emulate here is when this changes, and it post meta, and then I have no idea if that's going to work. We should also not show this unless there's a value for this. So let's show this part here. Sorry. So if we have a field on the greater than 0, show also something that can set the field value. I'm not 100% sure what I just wrote will work, but let's see. Oh. Yeah, see. That's not going to work. Meta. Sort of like this conditional right here. Somebody's watching this and losing their mind that I didn't memorize that. Sorry, we'll get to it. Not ready for optimization. That's cool. Now notice that they were both on the same field name. So if I change this one to like rock, it has no value, right? Because it's a different field now. That's neat. And I can call this one a purple rock. Hey, it's a nice purple rock. If that was a purple, I'm sorry, I'm colorblind. I should be more concise. I'm running out of time. Okay, so that's neat, except for that didn't actually save. Right, like as soon as I hit the thing. I have no idea why that was disappointing. Coffee, tea, right? Did that really just happen? Like, this is exactly what I thought it did. Oh, the thing is that the field isn't registered. That I don't know what to do with, right? Like this might be a better approach. Let's try that. But what I think actually going on here is that in the editor, it was like, okay, cool, I had to update that meta field. I'm a client. It's like JavaScript, I don't care. It's not registered. But in like, this is the code that I didn't, like, that's not running, that was generated to make that sidebar work, to avoid this happening, is that I registered the meta field and then I hit right, show in rest true, so that way it's there. Right, like that way I can save it. I don't know what to do about that. Like this, I'm gonna try this, what I just copied for Stack Overflow. Because how did they? Yeah, I mean, what they did, but it's not any different than what I'm doing. Oh, you're not supposed to do this here anyway. Yeah, this is exactly what I did, I think. Yeah, I mean, it's a different way to get to the same values. But yeah, let's just set meta here. Then how did they do this? What's still functionally different is that I'm using, right, I have to use a variable here. And I still think that the problem is with registering meta. And I don't know what to do about that. Where is it? Purple. And then this one is going to be T. And see, we lose the values immediately. So version 1's code are gonna suck for that. Let's move on because I only have like 10 minutes here. I'm gonna post this on GitHub and then like reply to the tweet like I got kind of far. Anybody know what to do about this part? Anyway, the other thing that we need to do here is that go in and make the save callback is just going to return null. And then we are going to put a how to register callback when used. Wait, does this take a argument for additional arguments? Yes, it does. So then we can sweet. Right. Maybe not. Because what I need to do here is have render callback. And this is going to get the attributes. And my goal here is to get field name equals attributes field name, but I don't trust anybody like give me every value. So it's like if is set oh if I'm just going to turn nothing there, right? And then value equals there's gonna have to be some more conditionals here. Right, like what I'm going for here is value equals implode, right, and then always sanitize on output. Problem here is that we don't have anything saved for the field name because I didn't register the meta field. So I'm not really sure what else to do, and like I only had 20-30 minutes for this. So I have most of the plugin done. I'm gonna do like, let's see if we kind of fake this for a second, if we do like we should at least see that when we view this post. field name is there. We're getting all the way down here. Nope, we're not. Oh, see this? This is camel paste. There we go. So the issue that I'm dealing with here is that the real value isn't getting saved because I'm not registering the meta fields, and I don't know how to register the meta fields before the request. I suspect the answer to this, and I'll just have to do a second part to this video, if I have time later today or tomorrow, more likely. But I suspect the answer is going to be hooking into like REST API init at like 0 or something and checking for the field, like the setting of that field, like of the attribute being saved. It must be in the REST API request and I can grab it from there. That also seems like an interesting security vulnerability, potentially, like because you're creating a set. The reason why WordPress doesn't accept all of any meta field is because then you could just put any meta fields in any place. Like developers allow list meta fields to be saved by the REST API. That's a good feature. Like that's why this is hard. And it's annoying to me today, but it makes sense. So let me think about how to get around this without making something super insecure. But I'm going to commit this and push it up to GitHub. And after I do my client call, I will like post this video and reply to the tweet. So if you have thoughts on how to get around this problem, let me know, because otherwise I think this is pretty close to what Daniel was looking for, like other than it doesn't work. I mean, if you save the values some other place, right? Like we have just one little problem before. I think this could be a cool block that you can use to like save a meta field and put it somewhere positionally in the editor. So maybe I'll release it to like WordPress.org because I can use like plugin machine to build that like the CLI. And it's uninstalled because I'm doing development. Anyway, I'll show you how that works in the next video. And I should, okay. Thanks for watching. Bye.